Ibrahim Traore's rapid ascent to leadership in Burkina Faso reflects both his personal ambition and the political instability of the region. Born in 1988, Traore became the youngest head of state in Africa when he assumed the presidency of Burkina Faso in October 2022. At the age of 34, his rise was marked by two military coups in less than 9 months, as he ousted the interim president, Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba, who had himself taken power in a previous coup earlier that year. Traore's leadership is a testament to the volatile political environment in Burkina Faso, where frequent changes in government have been driven by concerns over insecurity and governance failures. Early life and military career. Born in the small town of Bondakwi in southwestern Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore joined the military at a young age. He gained recognition as a skilled artillery officer, and by the time of his rise to power, he was commanding an artillery regiment in the northern part of the country. The northern region, particularly vulnerable to terrorist attacks, had long been a hotspot for instability. Traore's experience in these challenging circumstances made him acutely aware of the security issues facing Burkina Faso, a factor that likely contributed to his growing influence in the military. Before his military career took off, Traore had pursued higher education, studying at the University of Ouagadougou. This academic background, combined with his military experience, positioned him as both a tactician and a thinker, capable of addressing the complex socio-political issues in the country. In September 2022, Traore led a successful military coup, overthrowing the then-leader Paul-Henri Damiba, who had taken control just months earlier. Damiba's government had failed to address the worsening security situation in the country, with Islamist insurgencies causing widespread violence and displacement. Burkina Faso's northern and eastern regions were particularly affected, as militants, linked to al-Qaeda and the Islamic State, intensified their attacks on both military and civilian targets. The coup was largely driven by dissatisfaction within the ranks of the military, who felt that Damiba's government had not done enough to protect the country from these threats. Traore, seen as a dynamic leader with experience in counterinsurgency operations, emerged as the figurehead of this movement. On September 30, 2022, he led his forces into the capital, Ouagadougou, and by October 6, Traore was officially declared president. Challenges of leadership. Traore's ascent to power came at a time of severe crisis for Burkina Faso. The country had been grappling with increasing attacks from jihadist groups, leading to thousands of deaths and the displacement of nearly 2 million people. The security situation was further exacerbated by economic hardships, a struggling agricultural sector, and deteriorating infrastructure. As the new leader, Traore faced immense pressure to stabilize the country and address the root causes of these issues. One of Traore's initial challenges was to unify the military and gain the trust of the civilian population. Many Burkinabe were disillusioned after years of political instability and ineffective governance. However, Traore's youth and direct involvement in military operations gave him a reputation as a leader willing to fight for the people. Traore's governance and vision. Since assuming office, Traore has focused on restoring security and rebuilding the nation's institutions. His government has prioritized military reforms, including increasing the number of troops and improving their equipment. He has also sought to strengthen ties with neighboring countries to combat cross-border terrorism. In addition to these military efforts, Traore has promised to address the economic and social challenges facing Burkina Faso, including poverty, unemployment, and underdevelopment in rural areas. His leadership style has been characterized by a blend of pragmatism and populism. While Traore has made it clear that his primary goal is to secure the nation, he has also expressed a desire to move away from the traditional alliances with Western powers, particularly France. Like other coup leaders in the region, Traore has sought to redefine Burkina Faso's foreign policy by strengthening relations with other African countries and exploring partnerships with non-Western powers such as Russia and China. Traore's rise to power is part of a broader trend of military coups in West Africa, particularly in former French colonies such as Guinea and Mali. These coups have often been driven by dissatisfaction with governments that have failed to address security challenges or have been seen as overly reliant on Western powers. In Burkina Faso, the French military presence has been a contentious issue, with many citizens and soldiers alike criticizing France's perceived failure to protect the country from jihadist threats. Traore's government has also attracted attention for its attempts to forge new alliances. In particular, his administration has shown interest in developing ties with Russia, following a trend seen in other Sahel countries. This shift in foreign policy has raised concerns in the West, particularly given Russia's growing influence in Africa through its military and diplomatic engagements. The future of Traore's leadership remains uncertain. While he has gained significant support from the military and sections of the population, the challenges facing Burkina Faso are immense. The country remains one of the poorest in the world, and the ongoing insurgency continues to destabilize large parts of the territory. Furthermore, the long-term stability of Traore's government may depend on his ability to deliver on promises of security and development while navigating the complex political dynamics both within Burkina Faso and across the region. Conclusion: Ibrahim Traore's rise to power reflects the broader geopolitical and security challenges facing Burkina Faso in the West African region. As the youngest head of state on the continent, he carries the hopes of many Burkinabe who long for stability and security. However, the path ahead is fraught with obstacles, and Traore's ability to lead the country through this turbulent period will define his legacy.